biggest symbol, the most ubiquitous symbol from America, is the symbol of a carbonated beverage that's filled with a substance that science knows very well does the exact same thing to our dopamine system in our brain as cocaine. In fact, the coca plant used to be in that beverage. It got its name from it, in fact. So to think that that's the most powerful logo on earth, as I've seen and experienced in Sri Lanka, in Myanmar, in all kinds of faraway countries, every single tiny village in every third world province has one little cafe with a red and white awning with the famous logo bottle design, right? And so this is the thing. When you want to talk about our influence, what's our influence on the world? That's what I see. People at our core are loving beings. I've seen that every single place I've been. I haven't seen a lot of individual humans that I've interacted with that said, I want war, and our country needs to kill the other country. You know, that is nurtured. That's taught. That's learned behavior. We're given the G.I. Joes to play with, so we'll go out and be willing to be tough soldiers. We're given the Barbie to play with, so we have an ideal of what the perfect woman is.
You just reminded me.
Easy bake oven, so we're taught to stay home barefoot or pregnant. These are tools of culture that teach us how to be and what's right in life and what the world is.
You remind me.
Is what it is.
You remind me of the first trip Jean and I took to a B&B. And I got down on the floor with a little boy, and he had G.I. Joes on the floor. And we were playing, and he whispered in my ear, I'd rather play with my sister's Barbie, but my dad won't let me.
I don't even go there, but that point is extremely powerful. And Leonard Shlain talks about this in his book, Leonardo's Brain, about Leonardo da Vinci's brain. He wrote this beautiful book, really deep, insightful book. And he talks about that. And they have these theories about why kids become gay because they spend more time with their mother. And it turns out it's the opposite. No, they were destined to be gay, but the fathers rejected them for what they witnessed as more feminine behavior. And therefore they ended up having to gravitate toward the mother. Don't believe anything until you really check it with your heart. When you get to the truth, it resonates completely. And if something's grabbing your emotional attention, you take an emotional pulse and you're thinking, wait a second, you get a little hint of, I don't know. That doubt is your beautiful, brilliant brain telling you, whoa, take another look. We need to start rethinking everything we think if we want to find a new way to live. If we want to turn the page of our human life story book and on the next day say, and then the humans decided to ... We get to write that, Jamie. We are writing it right now.
So what I would like to start to talk about is, what is that new, when you turn the page, if you could make it very concrete, what does that look like, this new life that the humans create?
Well, you mentioned the film. Well, one thing I wanted to mention before we turn the page and write that next line in this is, did you know, to touch on what you guys are talking about here, it wasn't until the 1940s there was a marketing campaign that determined girls are pink and boys are blue. Before that, that never existed. It was purely to sell clothes.
Yeah. It's story. It's story.
And another thing, we were talking about how ubiquitous this unnamed beverage is. The thing that both Evan and I have realized, the thing that is ubiquitous through every culture, throughout history, throughout country and tongue and religion and you name it, is love. There's never been a point in history where love was not the foundational driving force and the thing that we all could agree on is the most important aspect of human existence, of our beingness.
And even that's been kind of hijacked and bastardized now. All of a sudden, love is this thing, this other thing. That's why we wrote the Love Paradigm Manifesto, because the love paradigm represents what we feel is that capacity of that biological drive to connect and be social, and that imperative for our thriving. I mean, we don't even have to get into our survival or where the world is going.
You know what? I am all about love. This is like we're preaching to the choir here, because I'm Dr. Love, right? So for me, everything turns around love. And when it was in the very early 80s, I had this, download oh, you're going to bring love and relationship advice over computers. And I thought, what does that mean? This was, 15 years before the internet was born. And then in the early 90s, a decade later, somebody said to me, oh, guess what? There's something that just got invented called the internet. And it's a web that interconnects everybody through the whole world, the World Wide Web. And I said, oh, that's what I saw. And so I started Ask Dr. Love, and was the web's first relationship advice site. And then soon after, Ask Dr. Love Radio. So for me, somebody said to me, Jamie, your calling to connect souls began when you were born 3 months early and you were alone in the preemie nursery. And you were so disconnected and alone, you decided, I'm going to make this my mission to connect souls on the earth and spirit plane so that nobody feels the pain of disconnection that you feel. And this then became my life. And my analytics supervisor said to me one day, you live for emotional connection. And I thought, right, don't we all?
Amy, what you just dropped is massive, and it's a quantum shift in my thinking now. This is the thing is, when I thought about what you're saying, I thought, me too, I was hurting, and that's why I'm all love now, because I don't want to hurt. And the people you see that say, we need radical inclusion are the ones who have been excluded. And they're like, we don't like this. Well, of course not. But the thing is this, what you just taught me. Everyone feels some degree of disconnection. Somewhere, at some point, feels some degree. And therefore, this is our opportunity. We are here to show everyone you can take that hurt and turn it into love. The only thing powerful enough to heal it and overcome it and grow and emerge from it is love. And
exactly.
The easier it is and the less of an issue that is.
Wait a minute. I am going to disconnect now for a break. So now we're going to have our first fight and our first disconnection. But I'm holding you in my heart till we come back. I'll be back with you in a moment on Love Never Dies Radio and Dr. Turn on the Love on Binge TV Network. Be back in a moment.
Something missing in your life? Maybe you feel lonely and unloved, or your work doesn't bring you joy, or you're secretly jealous of others. Millions of people, even those who are successful and surrounded by those who love them, secretly feel empty. I'm Dr. Jamie Turndorf, and I want you to know that the real source of our discontent is disconnection. And connecting to others and feeling love to our core is the cure. But to really connect, you gotta get naked. And I don't mean drop and trow. I'm talking about radical emotional nudity, where we expose our deepest self, warts and all. Being seen and loved in this vulnerable place is the key to unlocking the door to self-love, healing, deeply intimate relationships, vibrancy, and joy in every area of your life. Join me June 7 through 9 at the Art of Living Retreat Center in Boone, North Carolina. Get naked, get connected, and be radically transformed. To find out more, visit AskDrLove.com/live events. That's AskDrLove.com/live events.
Love Never Dies is now on the Dreamvisions 7 radio network every Wednesday and Thursday at 1 p.m. and 1 a.m. Eastern Time. Dr. Jamie Turndorf, also known as Dr. Love, is the #1 international best-selling author of Love Never Dies, How to Reconnect and Make Peace with the Deceased. If you're grieving the loss of a loved one, tune in and find out how to reconnect and heal any unfinished business using Dr. Turndorf's groundbreaking new Dialoguing with the Departed technique. Visit AskDrLove.com to find out more.
This is Dreamvision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.
You're listening to Love Never Dies with Dr. Jamie Turndorf. If you yearn to get along better with your life partner or spouse, friends, family members, and even coworkers, Dr. Turndorf's book, Kiss Your Fights Goodbye, Dr. Love's 10 Simple Steps to Cooling Conflict and Rekindling Your Relationship, shows you how to turn conflict into connection, for a lifetime of lasting love. Find out more about Kiss Your Fights Goodbye at AskDrLove.com. This is Love Never Dies with Dr. Jamie Turndorf. This show is for you, the listener. Once again, here's Dr. Turndorf.
Hello again, and welcome back to Love Never Dies Radio and Dr. Turndorf, Turn on the Love on Binge TV Network. Did you notice how the first promo talked about the source of our discontent is disconnection?
Yep.
We're all on the same journey, aren't we?
Well, and before we tell you about, you'd asked before the break about something concrete. What can we do? And that's really important. In fact, that's one of the things we figured out as we were covering the 50th anniversary of the Summer of Love is they had great ideas. They were definitely on the right path. The problem is that they didn't have a destination or a thing for people to go to. And with everyone so mired in this, wondering how am I going to feed myself? How am I going to clothe myself? How am I going to have a home to live in? That was a big bridge to ask people to suddenly, okay, I'm letting go of everything without any idea of where they were going to go. But before we get into the solution that we found, the only solution that we found that actually addresses all of that, and boy, if they'd embraced this in the 60s, we might have a very much different world today. I want everyone to understand that these conversations we're having, these dot connectings that we're doing, we're the bricks in the new foundation that everything will be built off of. And without us making this quantum shift in thinking back to love and really coming from that place, then we probably, no system you put on top of that will ever take hold because it'll still be on this broken foundation. So let's change in this frequency. Us sharing this is the very most important work any of us can be doing.
Yeah, baby.
So anyway, it won't be a surprise to you to know that the solution we found is called the Venus Project.
Yeah, John Fresco was just such a brilliant, visionary, futurist genius, and his body of work that he accomplished in his 101-year life is vast and astonishing, potent, and a prescription and blueprint for not only a sustainable future, but literally a harmonious future for us all, where we're unified as one human family, sharing the resources of this precious blue ball we're rocketing through space on together, and that we utilize our intelligence, our technology, and it stands on a foundation of a value system that's consistent with our biological imperative to survive and our potential of our intelligence to thrive while doing so. And Jacques always believed that in the last few decades, given the technology that we now have already in place and what's so close to being around the corner, is that in less than a 10-year period, we could elevate every human on earth to a high standard of living. And he's written the plans for doing it, and we've seen them, and they're beautiful, and we couldn't support or endorse this whole concept and the project, the Venus Project itself, any more than we do. And this is the subject of our half-an-hour documentary that we just finished. The promo spots and trailers are going to be coming out literally any day now. And it's an extremely powerful piece we couldn't be more proud of. And it will really move you. And it's as a philanthropist, as someone who's been searching for solutions, following the love in my heart, wanting better for myself, my family, and all of my human family, and someone who's been putting money, time, energy, resources towards causes that felt like I connected with them for some reason, right? I felt an emotional calling to support them, but ultimately they all ended up feeling futile because in this current story, this system, this way we're living with communists over there and the third world countries over there and the rich Americans with all our guns over here, and this whole thing is really doesn't feel in my heart like it's conducive to the thriving that our brains can certainly come up with. And that's the bottom line of it all. And
so now I want to get practical because I I love to get down and be practical. So I want to talk from now on until the end of our time, this time together. I'd like to talk practically about how you see the new world. The New World Order. What does it look like? How do we live? How do we function on the earth plane? Can you paint this utopia of what you guys see?